this video, I'm gonna be sharing my favorite and not so favorite things about being a real estate photographer, videographer. Basically a day in the life because we have a full day pack. Let's get started because we gotta shoot this space first and then head to the next one. So, if you guys know this channel, you know that typically I do luxury properties mostly, but in this case, we're not shooting the whole listing. This isn't like a full listing shoot. It's actually already for sale. We are just shooting a few spots because I work with an interior designer that stages listings, and so we're shooting the living, dining, office space, and the entry in the primary, wherever that is. Of course, make sure to get the listing ready before you start shooting. Get all the lights on. There's a big, not argument, but discussion that I see from other real estate photographer, videographers, whether you should have lights on or off. Obviously, if you are able to have lights off and only one main white balance, it's gonna look a lot better. But for most real estate photography, typically a potential buyer wants to see all the lights on. There we go. Always forget the one above the kitchen. Let's see, I guarantee I'm probably gonna turn on the disposal. Ah, I knew it. Every time. As I'm literally getting ready to set up and filming some behind the scenes, the seller came home to see how the house looked and immediately threw my mic and everything just into the pantry. I don't want them to feel weird about it. Okay, back to it. So here's probably one of the main shots right here. Lining it up from corner to corner. I'm including this art since it's specifically for an interior designer. Here, let me take this off. You can see we're covering everything. This is gonna be a good shot. And we're doing 5 brackets. That way we'll capture everything. Okay, I just finished, but do yourself a favor and always double check. Walk through the whole house again and check each room. Even though we're shooting 5 spaces, living room, dining, the entryway, the office, and the primary, I always walk through and double check because you might think like, I know what I shot or whatever, but when you're talking 5,000 plus square foot properties with multiple baths, 7 bedrooms, it's easy to miss a small space, and I've done it before. Very annoying, so double check yourself. I'm also so happy with this bag that Tenba sent me. Huge shout out to them. Fits everything in here perfectly. Got my R6, 15-35 drone, DJI mic, which is what I'm filming with right now on my phone. My 50 adapter drone batteries, accessories, drone remote. And this whole compartment up here is, expandable. And then it just latches up. Okay, now that I've finished, everything's packed up and I'm ready to go, I wanted to talk about the first major pro, probably my favorite thing about being a real estate photographer, videographer, and that is the consistent work and consistent income. Unlike other photo, video types of industries, you can make a pretty good living or have consistent work, which means consistent income, by just having a handful of clients. Unlike, for example, wedding photography, which is what I came from, you have to constantly find new clients, couples to work with. It's not like you're gonna work with that couple ever again unless it's like family portraits or something. But a realtor, one real estate team can supply you with multiple listings a month. So if you have about 5 to 10 clients that are giving you a couple listings a month, now you have consistent work throughout that whole month and throughout the year. So it was definitely the first thing I noticed that was really eye-opening because I came from always having to find work from different clients, different industries, but if you literally only did real estate photo video, you would actually be totally fine as long as you find clients that are giving you enough work and they'll keep you busy every week. Because honestly, in my business right now, my media business, I probably have maybe like 20 to 30 clients that I work with. Occasionally, some new ones are coming in or like one-offs here and there, but I'd say 20 to 30 and they keep me so busy. That's pro number 1, consistent work and consistent income. Okay, we are done here, headed to the next job, which is a commercial drone gig. Should be interesting. So usually I always make my coffee at home, but when I have early mornings, I'll just run and get it, and also have my Magic Mind shot. Really like these, honestly. Work pretty well. Let's go. So that productivity shot that you just saw me take was the last one from my 30-day pack with Magic Mind. They had reached out and we got connected, and I wanted to follow up with you guys and tell you what it was like to try them out because they are a productivity shot for creators like you and I, and it worked out pretty well. Now that I finished the pack, I can honestly say that it's actually missing from my morning routine and I just wish I had more. It worked great, especially for heavy editing days or long shoot days. I would take it either after my coffee or mid
in the afternoon before I start an editing session, and it would work out great. It would keep me focused, not feeling over jittery, and I just really liked it. Everything from the taste, the subtle effects, and I just really liked it overall. So if you're interested in checking out Magic Mind, you can find it in the link in the description. And I also want to mention that they do have a money back guarantee, which is a big deal, because if you don't like it, no questions asked, they'll give you a refund. And if you decide to pick up some Magic Mind, make sure to use the code in my description, Andre20, to save yourself 20% off your first order.
Okay, so we just arrived at our destination. This is the building we're gonna be getting some drone shots of. Basically, this is a company that I work with that actually do mostly their company headshots, but they're building a new space. The company themselves wants some just simple drone photos and video of it to highlight on maybe like their website, things like that. So that's what we're gonna be doing. Using the Mavic Air 2 with the circular polarizer on it. That's it. It's pretty windy, of course. So my one pro tip for drone shots, keep them as simple as you can. Don't overdo them. I feel like drone shots are overdone nowadays. So nice parallax shots left to right, up and down, push-ins, push-outs. Really easy and look clean. Stick to those. Everything looked good. On to the third and final shoot. This is a fancy neighborhood for sure. Dang. And here's the property. Woo. Epic. Okay, and before I get to this listing, because it is a full package and it requires my full attention, the last major pro about this job is the fact that you can do this in a regular work schedule. It's the work hours. We're on shoot number 3 and it is just over 12 p.m. So you can honestly do most of the bulk of this job in a regular work day. And that's a big plus, because other things like video shoots and stuff like that might be like early mornings, or weddings are all day on weekends. Typically, I shoot just Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, occasionally for twilights for bigger properties like this, and that's it. That's definitely my third pro about this job. And another tip, eat before you have your shoot. I made that mistake and I am starving, and that shoot was pretty hard because I haven't had a meal and it's 3 p.m. already. Gonna go get some food on the way home, but have a good meal before your long day. Another thing you'll constantly find yourself doing is eating out while you're on the road, especially if you're chilling between jobs. I'm on my way home right now, but I try and make better choices, like stopping at Smoothie King, and since I didn't eat all day, it's already 4, still want to be hungry for dinner, so I'm just gonna get a smoothie since I'm still doing all right. Whew, I'm tired, and I quickly wanted to touch on the second thing that I actually don't really like about this job. Now doing this for about 3 to 4 years, not 5 years, like real estate photo video in particular, it's a lot of wear and tear on your body. You know, it's pretty exhausting days, exhausting shoots, because you're just going from home to home, especially if you do videography and you're holding a gimbal the whole time and it's a heavy camera setup. It can really wear on your legs and your back. If you're doing just real estate photo and your camera's on a tripod, it's still okay, but still, it's a lot of just manual labor compared to like other shoots that are not as hard on the body or hard on you, like if you're a studio portrait photographer or headshot photographer. All that stuff's very controlled, very simple, in the sense of not just like a bunch of like labor intensive work, if that makes sense. And especially for me, I had an injury on my ankle probably like 5 years ago that didn't fully heal. And over the course of this year, it's been really bothering me, and I can really feel it this time. So I feel like that's just a second drawback for sure.
So that is pretty much a wrap. That is what you can expect if you're a real estate photographer, videographer doing this full time. Like I mentioned, this is kind of like a full day for myself. I know other people that do this and take on more jobs, other people that do less jobs. I try and stick to more higher end luxury properties like that last one we did. Because that price point is typically higher, I can do less shoots and make more, if not the same amount, from doing multiple smaller jobs. I really like to push myself and do the best work that I can, and so for me, doing smaller gigs and doing multiple of them a day, I'm not a fan of, especially all the commuting and everything like that, like you saw today. I'd rather do one big higher end property where I can produce something I truly am proud of and enjoy more. But when I first started out, this is what every day was without the luxury nice properties. It was just shooting small homes, and I was shooting anywhere from like 3 to 5 a day, and it can honestly just really wear on you. But yeah, like I mentioned, this is a great field to get consistent work, which means consistent income, fast jobs where you're not on set or doing doing shoots for hours and hours and hours, they can be done really quick, and for the most part be done within regular work hours. You know, for me, wanting to spend more time with my family, enjoy my weekends, it works perfectly for me. Unlike something like wedding photography, which took over my entire weekends. But yeah, like I mentioned, there are definitely some drawbacks with doing this type of job compared to other types of photo video gigs. That being the ton of commuting you have to do, which is a lot of wear and tear on your vehicle, and which is just a bunch of driving hours. But not to mention that you can get lucky and just be like preferred photographer, videographer in your area. Like this week, coming up next week, I have a gig on Monday that is in my neighborhood. But I have to mention, that is really rare. But when it happens, it's awesome. But most of the time, like I have to drive. I know for the rest of the shoots that week, I have to go like an hour to another city and then like 45 minutes to another one. That's usually the gigs for me. And second, a lot of wear and tear on your body, in my opinion, compared to other gigs. Like I said, you could be a studio photographer, or you can be a photographer that kind of has a studio based at home. If you're like a product photographer, it's just not as labor intensive and like a lot of walking, running, weird squatting, especially if you're into video work. So that's just another con for sure. And lastly, being that I'm just such a perfectionist and always trying to produce the best work as possible. Number three, the fast turnaround times is something I did not like at first, but most of my clients understand that whenever we're doing higher end gigs, they do give me like a good amount of time to make sure I produce the work that they want, really good high quality work, so they're not expecting like that cinematic video next day. But photos, for the most part, are typically always next day. But if you're either a photographer, videographer that is just starting out or is looking to go and take this craft doing it full time, this is one of the best industries to be in, like I mentioned, because you can work with a small handful of clients but have a full-time income just from them. And like I mentioned, I feel like my path in this is always evolving. Like I first started doing small, working for a real estate photo company, doing small homes, doing 3 to 5, the bare minimum, just because that's how they wanted us to shoot. So then starting my own photo video business where we focus more on higher end properties. But now I feel like I'm honestly getting more into higher end video production work, which is what I honestly have found a love for cinematography, working with cinema cameras, lighting, compositions, and telling stories. It's just been something that's like really just got me excited again, and I just want to pursue it and do more of it. So that's what I think is in line for the future, but it could also not be the case because this photo video business, as it is right now, obviously pays the bills and it's doing well. And I also want to mention, I'm going to formally make a video about this, but I've launched a new website. It's down in the description, where I'm going to be offering memberships. You can join this community and have access to a private chat with me. So maybe if you want me to check out some of your work, review some of it, you get a digital pack and some other perks like a behind the scenes video series I'm going to be putting on there that's completely not like YouTube. It's really raw, uncut, just really trying to focus on the information, not just so much how these videos are made. And I'm almost fine-tuned with that, but early birds can get in there right now and check it out, so you can find that in the description below as well. But that's pretty much for this video. Leave a like if you enjoyed, comment down your thoughts, subscribe if you haven't already. I would love for you guys to be part of the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And make sure to check out Magic Mind in the description to get your first batch, and make sure to use my affiliate code for a discount. See you guys in the next video.